Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to WFO Racing League action. Tonight, again, we are back here for the Burt Bacon Motorsports Truck Series, and we are again at Pocono. As we stated last night, this is known as the Tricky Triangle, and it's unlike anything that they'll see all season. Turn 1, like we say, is fast and demanding. Turn 2 requires absolute confidence and precision, and Turn 3 can punish even the smallest mistake as drivers fight for momentum into the massive front stretch. And we saw that last night because that was where a lot of the incidents were. This place is all about patience, rhythm, and survival, and with Burnt Bacon Motorsports Truck Series, known for aggressive racing, tonight could be very interesting. Entering into week 6, we've got a tight points race. At the top of the standings, you got Richard Holland. He's got 3 wins, 4 top 5s, consistent speed every week, and have helped him climb to the top. Right behind him, though, just 1 point back, is Garrett Helmlinger, and he's got 1 win and 4 top 10s. Burt Wilson currently holds 3rd place in the points. Tommy Haynes is in 4th. And then you've got Ricky Fagone, Zachary Kreiser, Mike McCulley, all looking to gain before the championship battle heats up even more. So, as always, tonight's race is proudly sponsored by Burnt Bacon Motorsports and Eighmey Contracting, helping bring another exciting night of WFO Racing League action to fans everywhere. So we're just getting started. These guys are going to start doing their practice or their qualifying laps here in a moment, so you hold on. We will be right back after this.
Start your engines, light the flame. We don't back down, we play this game. Wheel to wheel, it's skill and pride. We're racing clean with fire inside. Every turn a test of guts, fast and fair, no ifs or buts. Respect runs deep in every lane. We fight for wins, not for fame. Precision rules the track right here. Built on sweat, built on gear. Pushing hard but never low. Side by side we let it go. WFO, why freaking open, steal the show. Brotherhood on every lap, no cheap shots, no dirty taps. WFO, legends racing, friendships grow. Full send, all in, let it flow. This is WFO. It ain't just wins, it's how we stand. We lift each other hand in hand. From practice nights to final flags, we've got each other's backs. Hard racers, clean lines, sharpen steel through battle times. No ego, no shame, just honor in the name. WFO, wide freaking open, let it roll. Chasing greatness every show with the best you'll ever know. WFO, racing hard and keeping true. There's no other league like this crew. This is WFO. When the lights drop and the engines roar, this is where champions are made. WFO Racing League, wide freaking open.
And welcome back. Guys are out there qualifying. They got about 2.5 minutes left of qualifying, so we'll see where they all place. Got John Snoo back here in the booth with us again tonight.
What's up?
What's up? I've added some buttons, so we'll see how the buttons do for me tonight. Hopefully they work. Hopefully I can do things.
Are these overlay related buttons?
They are camera buttons and things, so I don't have to keep switching through different screens to click to what I need.
Oh, so like camera angles?
Yes. We've got camera angles. I've got a previous crash button. We've got forward rewind. We've got play. We've got slow-mo. We got buttons.
Nice.
I've got one that after we review crashes, hopefully if it works correctly, it'll take us back to TV 1 and position 1. So I can hit that, then hit end of session and be right there. Back to where we need to be.
Got like a whole pro rig setup here.
I'm working on it. Trying to be professional. We got Nation out there kind of watching, judging things. So we gotta keep the standards up there. You got Tommy Haynes out there right now qualifying. We got that man right there, Ivan Jones.
So is Chuck qualifying now on a regular basis?
That's Brent Seegers.
Is Chuck Sweeting qualifying now on a regular basis? Because I know in previous seasons he typically does not. He just starts in the back. Because I noticed he did qualify today.
Yeah, he did qualify.
Maybe he feels there's been too much carnage in the back.
Yes.
He's been cut up. It's like, all right, it's time for a new game plan.
What up, Ivan? I just got confused by Brent. He's got a very similar paint job to yours, so.
Brent, where are you at, Brent?
So we got
he does.
20 seconds left. That's right, that mystery lap is in effect. There you go, timing is up. So, once the guys start popping up into the track, we'll go through.
Oh, if you noticed, Nick Hunt backed up his 6th place finish last night with a 5th place qualifying spot. I'll be curious to see how Wood does it, because as we mentioned last night, he just sort of quietly flew under the radar, and had a really good finish on the evening. So.
All right. So it looks like they are good on that. Let me get my screen here that I need for this. All right, our grid. Let's see if I can work this properly here.
Oh, why didn't my trading paints? All right, I got to restart it. I don't even know if that's going to work for me now. Okay, we might have another.
It's not going to let me do it the way I want. Actually, you know what I should have done? I know what I should have done. I should have done the rear chase. That's okay. Let's see, rear chase. Do it right there. There we go. We'll do it like that. All right. Let's see if I can get this to work. So, tonight's starting lineup presented by Superstar Radio Network. Turn it on, turn it up. Something for everyone. Be sure to check them out at superstarradionetwork.com. They are also promoting the Mystery Lap tonight, which some people know when it is, some people don't. So we'll see. Now let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Burnt Bacon series tonight. I need to get my other screen back up because I moved it. There we go. All right. So, I had that up there already, damn it. I've got this backwards. So starting in first is going to be Aiden Young. Chuck Sweeting's going to be to his outside in P2. P3 is going to be Tommy Haynes. Richard Holland's going to start the outside in fourth. Then you got Nick Hunt is going to be in fifth with Vern Bradley to his outside. Ricky Fagone was going to be starting in seventh tonight with Garrett Helmlinger to his outside in eighth. TJ Lee is going to be starting in ninth place tonight with Steve Seegers in 10th. LZ Daly is going to be starting in 11th place tonight with John Wimbish in 12th. Randy Showers is going to be starting in 13th with Ivan Jones to his outside in 14th. Mike McCulley is going to start in 15th tonight with Burt Wilson starting in 16th. Brent Seegers is going to be starting in 17th. Glenn Jameson is going to be 18th. And Paul Patterson is going to round out the field tonight in 19th. And that button doesn't work. That's not cool. So that is your grid. We'll get back out here to the front.
Pace car's off. We are going
Pace
green.
car is off. And we are officially started. Tom Haynes getting right up behind Aiden Young there, trying to get him going. Chuck Sweeting on the outside, going to have a good run. Good spot to try and get out in front. Hopefully for him, I'm sure he wants to get out there and stay out there. Although he has Richard Holland right behind him, so. And you can't count out Vern. So Chuck Sweeting out in front. Aiden Young is in second. Richard Holland is going to be third. Tommy Haynes looks like he's sliding it around Tokyo Drift in that corner. Vern Bradley getting a little wobbly behind him. Now there's a little bit of gap. Got Garrett Helmlinger. Second place points. Richard Holland is first place in points. They are separated by 1 point. Never see vehicles bouncing off the wall already. Saw it last night with cars. We have completed further than we did last night before we had our first caution. So that's a good thing. Meanwhile, Chuck Sweeting out here in front. He's got about a 0.3 gap in front of Aiden Young. Aiden Young is kind of trying to close it, but not a lot happening there. Everybody's kind of single filed. You got to go back here. You got John Wimbish and Steve Seegers kind of battling. They're going to fall back in line. Then you got to go back here, back by TJ, to see anything being battled. So you got TJ and Glenn that battle for 14th.
Yeah, TJ's dropped some spots. He started top 10, started 9th. Dropped some positions. I don't know, maybe he's pacing for a possible fuel mileage run, or just maybe had some issues on the start. You know, the guy said when I've got somewhere around 27 laps, plus or minus, on a fuel run, the car tends to get a little bit tight throughout the run.
Yeah, I think tires and fuel, I think I heard 27 to 30 generally. So with 70 laps, it's going to be 3 stops, if that's the case. Whether or not it's during caution or during green, we'll see.
Any thoughts on a caution prediction?
Uh,
You had mentioned last night you'd asked some people to put in the chat. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that. what he did. Making guesses.
I'm not actually.
Curious what you think your thoughts are.
I'm gonna go 2.
19 trucks in the field this evening. You're going to go with 2?
And I think 1 might be at the end.
Yeah.
Near the end. Although they say single file like this, there might not be any.
Yeah, I'm tempted. I'm trying to get a gauge. You know, I was like, this could either go 0 cautions or 5. I don't think any more than that. You know what? I'm going to go 0. Go for 0. Don't be super positive. Normally I play a little bit more of a contrarian, but I'm going to say 0.
Well, I feel like there might be one as the tires start to wear. And if we go green, there might be one pit entrance or exit.
I'm thinking somebody's going to smack the wall harder than expected coming out of 3, and that would, if there's a caution, I'm going to call it out for that. Although everybody here pretty much ran last night, so they're aware of, you know, what happened last night, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to go 0. I'm feeling 0.
All right. I say 2. He says 0. Chat, what do you say? In Young trying to come up and push to get that first spot away from Chuck. Got that gap down to about a 0.1. Got Tommy Haynes moving to the inside of there of Richard Holland. He's starting to make some moves. $1, Bob. This isn't the Price is Right, Scotty. Aiden gonna again try and sneak his nose on the inside there. Not enough to get it. Looks like he actually lost some spot. Lost some space, and now you got Richard Holland trying to sneak up on the inside.
Yeah, he's getting a push by Tommy, helping push him past him.
Tommy getting in the back quarter panel just a little bit there. Give him a little nudge.
Chuck, I think probably feeling a little safer this evening with his position. The last couple of weeks, he desperately needs a good finish. He's just been collateral damage in a lot of the wrecks lately.
And I think with like what we heard last night, the guys were saying once they started filing into the single file, it was difficult to kind of get around, especially when if you had anybody too wide, you weren't getting around them.
Yeah.
And so position of qualifying is probably definitely the way to go tonight. So definitely understandable on why he put himself where he did. On top of prior incidents that have left him not able to finish. So You got the first 8 places kind of grouped up here, and then you've got about a 2-second gap until that next group that you see back there. I wasn't going to say nothing until he crossed the line. That right there is your mystery lap winner. Mystery lap was lap 10. So Chuck Sweeting is tonight's mystery lap winner. Taking that pocketbook away from Richard Holland, who has managed to gain the last 3 of them. So finally, you're going to have to...
Oh, he's gotten the last 3?
Yeah, he's gotten the last 3. So switching it up a little bit tonight, going to Chuck Sweeting. Sir Chuck would be happy about that, but he'll be even happier if he finishes in the same place he's in right now. No, it was early enough I was able to remember and pay attention to it. All right, so since we're pretty much single file, let's see if my buttons work for the other buttons that I've set tonight. So your current leader in this race, you got Chuck Sweeting out front in that 75. Just that purple design, 75. Switching it up, historically he ran a green truck for many years. And then one day switched it up and it threw me off, let me tell you. Moving back, you got Richard Holland in the 31 Milwaukee black and white design. You got Tommy Haynes running that bootlegger 17. Then you got 69 of Aiden Young. I had to think about it for a moment there. Aiden Young is running. What's he got on the side of Young Gun Creations? Then you got Vern Bradley running his Alienware number 14. Criminy sakes, can't speak.
All right, you got this. Patience. You get it.
Then you got the number 1 of Garrett Helmlinger in the dwell time training. Yellow and white. I'm not sure if I like that or dislike that design.
On whose truck?
On Garrett Helmlinger.
What's his front look like?
It's like simple, but yet it's... I'm not sure. Then you got John Wimbish in that 56 Red Oak. It's been his design for the last couple seasons. Then you got Steve Seegers out here running that number 16 Hooters truck. I like how it says Hooters Naturally Fresh. Was that their? Was that actually their?
No problem with that paint scheme, huh?
Was that actually their phrase, naturally fresh?
I don't believe they had a phrase.
Okay. It's just funny then. Hooters naturally fresh.
Yes, that it's almost like it's a collaboration with maybe a Burt paint scheme.
So then you got Nick Hunt out here.
Collaboration. No, that's
Dr. Pepper.
It's hard.
Exactly. Words are hard.
It is the hardest language, they say.
All right, there's something on his.
Where do you see Simply Fresh on the Hooters truck, by the way?
Huh?
Because I'm not seeing it.
Oops. On the Hooters truck. Right behind the 16 in the orange.
On the tail?
On the rear quarter.
Oh, left rear. Oh, okay. Naturally Fresh. I gotcha. Yeah, I don't, and it very well might be, and I might have patronized the Hooters here and there over the last.
I never got to go to one.
No?
No, we had one, and was never allowed to go. So that was a previous life, no longer in that life, and we are now here, and Hooters is no longer around. So, well, not very
you don't
many
have a
of them
Hooters
anymore.
by you anymore?
No.
Yeah, we still have one out west. But yeah, and they actually have this. If you ever get a chance to go one, they have some pretty decent fried pickles as well.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
So you got Nick Hunt in that number 60 Dr. Pepper and Snap-on truck. Snap-on, expensive, good tools. Then you got his partner, Elsie Daly, in that number 6, the iRacing specific paint job. Then you got Mr. Ricky Fagone in that number 10, TMASE design. And moving on back, you got Mr. Ivan Jones, part of the RGC Motorsports. Got that. I'm not sure if that would that count as a neon green?
Yes, I would consider that a. Well, neon is usually a little more limey.
So
like,
more his numbers are
lighter,
more neon green, probably.
Yeah, I would say his numbers are like safety green. It's pretty close. If he's going for the safety green, I would say that would pass muster, I think.
I'm sure at some point he might chat in the chat and tell us, but moving on back,
that would indicate he's got time to type, so we don't want him to be able to respond to it yet.
Don't challenge him. So you got Randy Showers in the 22 Caterpillar. Yeah, Glenn Jameson running the 63 Sour Patch Kids truck. Got one of those reflective paint schemes, kind of, on the aluminum look to it.
Oh, he is. Sorry, I interrupted you completely. My apologies. But
You were perfectly fine.
yeah, I see he's moved over to the Dodge manufacturer. He's running a Ram.
Yeah, him and Michael Macaulay, I believe, both have switched to Ram. Then you got Mr. RGC himself, TJ Lee, running that 34 RGC Motorsports paint scheme, keeping it real. Look at his back spoiler there. You got WFO Racing, Keep It Real, and RGC Motorsports. Next up, you got Burt Wilson with the 3 Guys Plumbing, 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. I'm guessing that's what he has on his tail, too.
No, that's not exactly what it says.
Oh, 2 in the sink, 1 in the stink.
That correction as quickly as possible.
Close enough.
I don't want anybody out there have to explain what he just said to as they're watching this with their children. Sorry.
They're eating ice cream, the Neapolitan ice cream. Michael McCulley out there in that 81 high chew. Bless you.
And yes, that is a Ram. I did.
Looks like he's got something on his tail too. No, nothing stops Ram. No. Don't know about that.
Yeah.
You got Burt Wilson, and then you've got Brent Seegers in the 54. The guy that we've been confusing with Ivan Jones. It's the same green color.
And 54. So at quick view, you see the 5.
Yeah.
So they are sequential trucks.
Then moving back, you got Paul Lucky Dog Patterson in a 51 Coca-Cola and Buc-ee's truck. I never got to go to a Buc-ee's. They were building one near me in Wisconsin. It didn't finish before I moved.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to check one out either. The only time I see them is when I'm on the road, and they do not allow trucks by design. So they are cars only.
Buc-ee's doesn't allow trucks? I thought that was one of their things.
No.
Oh, okay.
They are no truck parking, no nothing. And I don't hold that against them. I get it. But yeah, they are designed specifically to not have any trucks able to get in there and park and stuff like that. Except for the fuel haulers for the fuel, of course. But yeah, they are not a truck-friendly facility, per se. But I heard they're amazing. I know people that have gone there. It's someday they'll make one up by me, but they still haven't moved far enough up north yet. Now, you said there was one in Wisconsin?
They're building one in Wisconsin, yes.
Okay. Nice. I heard they're phenomenal stores, so I don't have any ill will towards them for the trucker thing. Like I said, I get it.
All right, so let's see. We're gonna change that here.
Oh, we got pits starting. Just had my McCulley call out for a pit stop. This is kind of early. I show lap 23. Unless they're looking at sort of maybe doing try to just split it down the middle as close as it can. 2 separate stops splitting the whole race in thirds, possibly.
While we were going through the list, Richard Holland managed to get up and around. And we've got a caution. That's going to...
McCulley's not going to be happy.
Not going to make Mr. McCulley very happy.
I don't...
Let's see. Previous crash. I don't see anything.
A 60 car. Look at you. Go back to lap 24. Into turn 1 is where it kind of sets up and starts.
All right.
16 got a run to the outside. I don't think Nick either didn't realize he was there and had gained some, or just couldn't, it just got tight coming out of the corner.
Yeah, it looks like, I'm not sure what happened. It looked like it jumped.
Well, okay. And then if you follow it through,
so going into the corner here.
Maybe something for a discussion later. If you
Looked like
follow
he
it through to the next corner as well,
turned
it
up
gets a
to
little
him.
worse. That might be something I want to look at later. Because this would have been the second corner. And yeah, that kind of
Let's go normal speed here.
speaks for itself there.
All right. So with that being said, everybody went into the pits.
Looks like Richard Holland was a little bit quicker. Mr. Sweeting.
Unfortunately, Michael McCauley is out there in front, but he's got 2 laps on there now. Or not, unfortunately, because now he's in front. But I don't know how you want to figure that works for that. I mean, I guess it works for him.
Pocono was so big that probably when the caution came out, he still had time to finish his pits and come on out. So he stayed on the lead lap, right? And then when everybody came in the pit, came around, he didn't have to come in the pits. So that cycled him up to the front because he was still on the lead lap. And that's why he's got the top spot there. So actually, where we thought that was a negative, actually kind of worked for him.
Worked in his favor.
Yeah, because he's got fresh tires right when the caution came out, so he doesn't have any laps of running on him, just coming around on the caution laps.
And Ray, you're assuming that Chuck's going to be up here in the booth.
What are you trying to say there, Mr. Brady?
I'm not saying anything. Because I'm not going through what I went through last week.
All right. I'll be curious to see how Michael's truck handles now. Now he's got some clean air on his truck.
It'd definitely be interesting.
All right, pace car's in. Let's see what he can do with this spot here.
Getting a nice jump. But you have a lot of good racers right behind him. So how long will that good jump last? You're about to find out how much 2 laps matter on tires. Or maybe it doesn't matter at all because they're caution laps.
They were caution laps, so they wouldn't be like regular racing laps. So that won't have the same effect.
Alrighty, sir. 3 wide for second place, or 3 wide for third place, I guess. Mike McCulley's shuffling through. Oh, Garrett Hemlinger is spinning sideways.
It looks like Wimbish. Looks like John. Just a little tight.
All right, so the previous crash here.
And that's right, you have new technology.
I do. You see him catching a...
Well,
Oops,
he did
that's
catch
not...
him a little bit, but yeah, I guess he did come up a little bit on him. It was kind of a late move. I don't think anybody got...
Glenn got caught by him there afterwards. Looked like there's a little bit of a little kerfuffle there after that.
Hopefully it looks like everybody...
Looks like, let's see, 22. Randy
everybody
Showers got in the back of Glenn. So we'll see
But he
how
doesn't
that
look like
affects
he
things.
took too bad either, yeah. The damage amount of these trucks aren't quite as bad as the O'Reilly cars, so that, I would imagine, shouldn't be too bad. If he's got any damage, it should be minimal, I would guess.
Got a couple guys going into the pits. I mean, they got to go a whole nother lap around yet, right?
This is the pace car.
Pace car's got flashing lights, so they got to go a whole round.
Lights
again
are still on, so you have at least one more lap, yeah.
All right, so let's see. We're gonna throw him off. Mr. Chuck Sweeney, you got a copy during this caution.
Yeah, man, how's it going?
Not too bad. How's it going out there on the track?
Pretty good. That's a nice little battle up front here.
We figured during this caution, since cautions are so long on this, we'd bring you up here and talk to you for a second and let you know that you won the mystery lap.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and I'm to let you know that because iRacing only lets you give so many number of gifts, Ray will have to figure out how to get it to you in some other fashion. So, just so you're aware, and congratulations on that. He wanted me to give you the congratulations at the end of the race, but I told him, I said, there's a lot of race to go, and I'm not going to jinx it like I did last week and go through what I went through last week. So,
Yeah, and these caution laps are so long here. No, anytime you want to talk, I'm ready for it.
So
that's funny. That was a good job on the qualifying too. Nice qualifying job as well.
Thank you. I just missed it, but I'll take it. I did a good job on that start, though.
Sorry, I said pole. Good job on qualifying, getting up in the front. Where assumption is because of the unluckiness you've had starting in the back with the carnage, that you were going to try to put a little more forward this race.
Yeah, I felt good in practice, so I thought I could at least start top 3 or 4. So yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, it seems to be working for you. It looks like the pace car's lights are off, right? Looks like
Yes.
we're going green
Yeah,
around here.
coming to the green.
Yeah, good luck on the rest of the run, man.
Yep.
Appreciate
Good
it,
luck,
guys.
and
Thank you.
we'll put you back in where you were.
All right, thanks, man.
Alrighty.
Man, all of a sudden, with your struggles, now I'm struggling to speak proper English. Until nobody's on the pole, and I knew he wasn't on the pole, but he started in front. I'm like, called pole. I'm like, I'm gonna put this on Brazy, man. I don't know. Bad influence. Yeah, they are going back to green here.
Yep, pace car will drop down, and we will go back green. Richard's going to get a nice little jump there. Chuck's to his outside, so we'll see how long that goes. You got Vern up there in third place or fourth place right now. Yep, his teammate Mike McCulley back there, and other teammate Glenn Jameson right there too. Chuck getting a nice run, gonna get right up there behind Richard and start pushing. Trying to get away from Aiden. You got Vern right there. Vern trying to look like he was gonna try and make a spot open up there.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? You saw Aiden drop those spots there. That's this track is aerodynamics. Drafting is so important. That's why you saw him on that front stretch sort of drop. He had nobody behind him to help him. It's a big thing here. These trucks.
So as it stands right now, Richard Holland in front, Chuck Sweeting second, Vern Bradley third, Glenn Jameson fourth, Tommy Haynes is fifth. Aiden Young's dropped back to sixth place, LZ Daly is in seventh, Mike McCulley eighth, Randy Showers is ninth, Ricky Fagone is going to round out your top 10. Moving on through the rest of the field, you got Ivan Jones is currently running 11th. Brent Seegers, Brent Seegers is running 12th. Garrett Helminger is in 13th. Burt Wilson and John Wimbish are battling 14th, 15th. TJ Lee is in 16th. Steve Seegers is 17th. Paul Patterson is 18th, and Nick Hunt is out. You got Vern stuck on the inside all by himself, so he's going to get sucked back a couple spots. Finds a hole in front of Brett Seegers to pull back in. No, it's not Brett. Who is that? Is that Tommy?
I believe it. Yeah, that's.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, that is Tommy.
No, that's not. Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, Brent's.
Oh!
Oh!
Gonna have a caution here. Who is that?
All right, so you got Aiden Young right here getting passed up by Vern. Tommy Haynes getting into the back of him, spinning him out, and that unfortunately looks like LZ Daly got a little bit of that too. So we'll see how that ends up for them. Well, both of us are wrong.
Huh?
Both of us are wrong. You said 0. Well, actually, all three of
Oh,
us.
yeah, I said 0.
You said 0. I said 2. Scotty said 1. We are halfway through this race.
I'm not sure if Aiden didn't have to check up for some reason. I was in Tommy's cockpit watching him come around the corner, and it looked like maybe Aiden had to check up a little bit for something. I'm not saying it's Aiden's fault. I'm just saying
I didn't see anything in front of him, but when we went to the replay, I think he just let off in the corner to try and turn, and it was quicker than what Tommy was doing. So
yeah, I'm in Aiden's car now. I want to see it, but yeah, Tommy was rolling. Usually you don't slow down coming off the corner, so that's I'm wondering if. Yeah, I think maybe he just had to roll a little throttle just to finish making the corner. Vernon was on the inside of him, might have messed up his air a little bit, but yeah, that would explain it. Just racing a Pocono.
So you got Mike McCulley and Brent Seegers are going to stay out. All right, well, let's see. So since Mr. McCulley's leading, let's pull him up here and throw him on the spot.
He's liking the front. It's a different view.
All right. Mr. McCulley. Oh, I put him in the staging room. Oops. Mr. McCulley, we got you up here in the booth during this caution. Since our
that's your first that's your first mistake right there.
Is it, or is the first mistake that you're up front again?
Nope. I have a strategy and I'm just sticking to it.
All right.
We just thought maybe you liked the view up there better than where you were before.
I do.
Stay up there.
I do. And I like getting putting 3 wide and that stuff, so I just want to go through that experience again.
How's the truck handling for you?
Better than last night. Still tight as ever as the run goes on. It just tightens up like crazy, especially out of 1 and 3. 2's kind of easy, but 1 and 3's really tight, especially as the tires get more wear on them.
Or if you're the meat in a 3-wide sandwich.
Yeah, and you're just holding on and hoping you're not getting pinballed back and forth, and makes it exciting though. I want to make it exciting for the viewers and everything, so put on a show, I guess, right?
Looks like we got a couple of guys going in for a second pit on this lap.
Yeah, I thought I saw Chuck dip back in.
It's going to be close on fuel. I think you can make it from here, but like I said, I have a strategy I'm sticking to, and no matter what, I'm sticking to it.
Well, I guess we'll see how that pans out for you, and hopefully we'll be seeing you up here at the end of the race.
Oh, you will be.
Okay.
I'll be crashed out. I'll be crashed out up here.
All right. Well, good luck. Hopefully your plan works out for you, and hopefully we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, good luck, man.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Oh, he moved himself. I was going to move him.
I wonder what his plan is. He's got to stop at least one more time. We still have 32 laps left, I think, right? Unless he's maybe going to go to Super Save. I'll be curious to see how this pans out.
Maybe he's
I was
counting
surprised
on
also.
caution.
Yeah, I was surprised also to see Chuck dip back in, unless. Well, and that might be maybe Chuck feels at this point going to go back on lap 39. 31, maybe he thinks 31 laps, 32 laps is doable. Maybe Chuck is now switched to a fuel mileage race. He was too far forward. He hasn't been in any of the wrecks that I'm aware of.
No, he has not. All right, pace car is going to drop down. Mike McCulley with a good jump. Brent Seegers is going to slow down the outside line. You got Glenn Jameson, Vern Bradley right there, 1, 2, and 3 behind him, or well, with him. See how long he can hold out in front of everybody. I'm not sure who got tires and if they got tires, but
yeah, that's what I thought too. I didn't really put that together. Maybe I thought maybe it was going to be all three of them get together and push each other, but that doesn't look like that might have been discussed.
Teammates left him out to dry. A couple guys tagging the wall there that time around also. So Mike McCulley is now in 5th place. In front, you got Glenn Jameson. Vern Bradley is currently 2nd. Brent Seegers is 3rd. Richard Holland 4th. Mike McCulley is 5th. Now Richard Holland and Brent Seegers just traded spots. So Richard is now in 3rd. Mike McCulley going to the inside of Brent. Try and get the spot back. Those two have the same amount of tires, so you see Richard going to the inside of Vern, making a move. Not quite enough to get in front of Vern, so Vern's going to hold on to a 2nd place and move back in. Meanwhile, Glenn Jameson is out there running away. Now that Vern and Richard are not battling, they're starting to catch back up with him. So it goes with that draft racing that you were talking about.
Yeah, it looks like Michael is probably pretty solid around the 5th place finish. I'll be curious to see how he goes with those older tires, if he can hold that spot.
On the inside, Ivan's going to tuck in behind him. Oh, the barrel's got somebody. I saw Ricky a part of that. I don't think he got the barrels, but
Ricky was in it. I was just trying to find a number to start with.
all right.
Okay, yeah, it was that 16 bounce off the
16
wall?
got into
No,
22 and hit the wall, and Ricky got in the back
22
of
bounce
him.
on
And
the wall. Yeah.
oh, 2 nights in a row. John Wimbish into the barrels.
Oh, okay, that wasn't him. Let me go back another one. Oh, wrong way.
So yeah, you got
Yeah, 16 bounce off the wall, slowed him down a little bit, and then just Ricky had nowhere to go.
well, see, 16 initially tagged 22 a little bit there in that corner, which got him loose. Then he tagged the wall, which slowed him down into Ricky. Ricky got him down into John, and John went into the barrels again.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
Or maybe he missed the barrels.
Let's see, I got him pulled up here.
Nope, he caught the barrels again. His rear axle is now not square to the truck.
It was a little more of a glancing blow, but it actually looked more violent than last night. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So,
Ricky's coming in. I don't see what kind of damage he has. Oh, he's got some front end damage.
yeah, he hit the
He's gonna have
inside
to get
wall
that
pretty
fixed.
good.
Yeah.
John Wimmish, not sure if he's going to be back out. Well, no, I know he's not going to be back out. That rear axle is not straight.
Is it skewed?
It's dog walking just a little bit.
You know, from my view, it doesn't look too bad. I would not be surprised if he comes out after a little bit of repair.
I don't know. That was a pretty hard hit off the barrels.
Oh, it was. I'm just thinking, because it was so glancing, how much of it was into the axle and how much possibly just the rear quarter. Because the truck itself doesn't seem to look too bad. Now, in fairness, a lot of times iRacing, the images don't necessarily reflect the level of damage.
Well, being that, so my scoreboard is saying he's got a black flag for bad.
He's got a what?
He's got a black flag for bad entry into the pits. And I haven't heard him ask to clear it. I'm assuming he is done for the night.
That's true. If you caught that, McCully got caught speeding.
I don't think that was in the strategy.
No. But it sounded like it was beneficial. It sounded like he used the washroom while he was serving his penalty.
All right, so you're
I
gonna
believe
have
he's
Glenn
still on the
James?
lead lap, so not too bad. I mean, looks like he's still on the lead lap, I believe, correct? Your timing scoring is probably a little more up to date than mine is.
Yeah, he's lead lap.
Okay.
It was Ricky.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how Ricky's truck handled. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to look at the front of his truck. His arrow might be slightly affected.
Ooh. He's getting some change of straight ahead.
I think he'll have an issue with cooling because you could see the motor from the rear chase view between the gap between the hood and the fender. So.
Doesn't look like. Well, Ricky may catch him. I don't think he will, though.
Oh, for the
Well, it's going
restart?
to be close.
Oh, we got a green flag.
We are green. Almost caught him. Glenn getting nice jump, nice run. Oh, yep.
Oh, spinning, got a caution coming up.
All right, well.
Let's see here.
All right, so you got the 16.
16, 6, and 70.
Yep.
Any one of those three should get you on it.
So kind of a 3 wide, 6 kind of squeezed and bounced and into the 16 and
Yeah, it just got a little too tight for 3 trucks.
yeah.
Trying to take up a little bit too much space there.
You could say it's
I'll
on
say
the 6,
this,
but
it's lucky at least there was only 1 truck. That could have been a lot worse on the restart
Yeah.
with all the trucks so much closer. That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's if his aerodynamics just shifted on that it sucked him into Burt or what, but
Well, and I'm curious if maybe a little bit of net code when the 16 came up is when LZ went a little bit to the right to almost avoid him. But was that LZ turning or what? Actually, let me get in the cockpit and look. Or was that just?
well, and it's interesting because you see Burt come up next to him and it like pushes him away, and I don't know if he was trying to steer up and then it came up into Burt, bounced off to Burt and into the 16.
Yeah, no, I will tell you from LZ's cam, it doesn't really look like he came up that much into Burt. It's let me see.
Well, that's why I'm wondering if it like the arrow pushed him away and he kind of steered a little bit and then it went into Burt and then he came down and caught the rear end
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I agree. I think Arrow had something to do with it and just sort of upset LZ's truck being stuck in the middle there with where they were, the proximity to each of the trucks, and one was way in front of the other. And yeah, I think it's just Arrow got all screwy and it was hard to control.
a couple more
That's
trucks
one of
are gonna
those
go
I would
into
probably
pits.
just call a racing deal. You know what I mean? It's
That's
all
what I
everybody
think. I
just
think that was a racing incident.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of guys going back into the pits again. And Glenn Jameson, Vern Bradley, 1 and 2. Garrett Hellmeyer.
Yeah, this will guarantee you. This will get you to the finish guaranteed now if there was any question.
Yeah, we only got 24 laps to go, so if it goes green, they can definitely make it.
Well, all that talk about, the trucks after the O'Reilly cars, they're usually a little more cautious and careful, and that just blew that out of the water tonight. what are we,
I didn't
5
say
now?
that tonight.
Oh, no, but that's typically the trucks, that was, always the trucks usually are a little more calm after the first night at getting out of the system, seeing how it handles, and this is just, well, I said 0 or 5. Maybe I should have come. I was just trying to be positive. Trying to be positive, hopeful. And this isn't necessarily over. We still have a lot of racing left.
Oh, yeah.
Still going to have 20 when we go back. 20. I can't see the pace car.
23.
Is he?
They're on the second lap of caution now.
Okay. Oh, lights are out. So they're going back to green next lap. So,
Yep.
yeah.
How's it running, Ivan?
You're in 4th place, man. Focus on your driving. No texting driving. Focus.
You haven't seen his streams, have you?
No.
Oh, he does all kinds of stuff while he's driving. He's streaming. He's talking to the chat. He's chatting in here. He's got this stream up while he's streaming. Just fast. Keep it up. Ricky's going to catch him this time, it looks like.
Yeah, I think he's down on power. I was trying to get in to watch his tack versus the other ones, and then the wreck happened. But my assumption is I think he's down a little bit underpowered. All right, coming to green this time by.
All right, pace car will drop down. We will go to green. And we are green. Looks like Glenn and Vern might have coordinated to start out with each other because they had pretty much the same starting point.
Same starting point and the same room. Yeah, I'd say that's a fair. Yeah, Ricky's a little bit. I think Rick's got a little bit of a handling issue, maybe even more than power, but. Front here, Bradley.
Glenn Jameson out front, Vern Bradley in second, Garrett Helminger is third, Ivan Jones fourth, Richard Holland is fifth, Chuck Sweeting is sixth, Burt Wilson seventh, Randy Showers eighth, TJ Lee is ninth, and Brent Seegers is going to round out your top 10.
Garrett is pushing a bit. He's made his way back after getting involved in that one caution. And I will tell you, he was pressing. I was watching him specifically come out of 3 on that lap, and I saw a little bit of right turn in the wheel coming out of turn 3. Like it was just a little loose. He's pressing. But 20 to go. It's go time. You're going to see guys are going to be pressing a lot harder now.
Yeah, we have Garrett and Richard points 1 and 2 there. Garrett getting stuck to the inside, falling back behind Richard again. So Richard's going to get up there and tuck in behind Vern and start running. Squeeze down and try and take the inside line. I have noticed in general, Richard does seem to like to run the inside line on a lot of tracks. And I've noticed that Vern likes to run outside lines on a lot of tracks.
Oh, you're talking about in the corners? Yeah. Richard's more of a bottom feeder on a lot of tracks. Well, it's the shortest path around. Typically, it's usually good lines at most tracks. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm what you would call a bottom feeder. I always try to make the bottom work. Not that there's ever speed at the top, but typically top you will burn a lot more tire to your right front tire because you're going faster. Because you're covering more ground. You've got to cover more ground, so you've got to be a little faster guy on the bottom, so you're running a little faster on that side. Puts a little more heat in the tire. Usually makes has a little more of a cost. Tire wear tracks that have tire wear issues. Here we can transfer to the Toyota cutaway car. No, just kidding. That'll be your next button. We'll have to figure out a way to bring in a cutaway car. How about roll centers and moment centers maybe one day and stuff.
Chuck going way wide on that corner. So he's losing a little bit on them guys.
Well, that's the thing too. I think they're actually let me look before I.
Oh, he's closed back in on that, so spoke too soon. Glenn and Vern still up there. Vern pushing on Glenn, trying to keep him up there. Richard Holland trying to figure out a way to get up there and get around Vern. Garrett trying to figure out how to get around Richard. It's all a get around game.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. You need somebody behind you, too, to kind of help you do that. So it's a matter of who's going to make a move. I see now Richard came down. He came down to get in front of him, and then Richard sort of hung him a little bit and went back up high. So, yeah, it's a little bit of gamesmanship now. 15 to go. Everybody's trying to fight for their
Vern's
spot.
going to be stuck to the inside. No one there to help him. He's trying to get a little side draft, I think, there on that straightaway. Try and stick with him.
Ooh, nice save. Got a little loose. Good recovery.
Garrett's going to squeeze the inside a little bit on Vern there. I'm getting, not sure if they touched or not, but it looked like something made him jump to the inside. Richard Holland going to dump to the inside, try and get up and around Glenn. Glenn currently has led 16 laps so far tonight.
And that's the thing. Usually there's some pretty good speed up high because you keep momentum, but Richard rolls the bottom pretty well.
Just enough gap there to let him back in. We have 15 laps to go. Chuck Sweeting is back in 5th place. Vern's trying to close the door so Richard can't come back up in. Richard and Garrett are going to team up on the inside, it looks like.
Side by side is going to let Ivan, a couple of these guys, Randy, get back up with them, right? They're cutting enough air, disturbing the air enough that's allowed these two to catch back up to them now. So now it's a 7-horse race.
Garrett falling back. He's going to fall back. So he fall back to 6th place, it looks like. Right in front of Ivan. So Garrett falling back. That's going to move Chuck up another spot. One, 2, and 3 are trying to put a gap between 4, so we got the battle going on here. We got Glenn Jameson still out front, Richard Holland second, Vern Bradley right behind him. They got about a 0.15 between Richard and Glenn, about a 0.1 between Vern and Richard, and a 0.13 between Chuck and Vern. So, although I'm not sure what Chuck making a run to the inside of Vern there. Not quite enough on that lap around, but now you got Garrett Helminger and Randy Showers trying to move to the inside. Unfortunately, I think that's going to slow him down rather than get him up there, but he might have saved a little bit in the tires and making a push now. And he actually did do that. He got in front of Chuck now. You see Glenn and Richard starting to pull away a little bit from Vern.
Randy Showers into the wall pretty hard there. He's kind of stuck on the wall a little.
Looked like Chuck kind of followed him into it. Richard's going to make a
Put
move
Garrett
to
in
the
of
front.
him, coming out of one.
He is
Move Garrett
going
up a spot.
to take it. Glenn's like, no, we're not doing this. I want my spot back. See that? I think that kind of puts Vernon in a predicament. He wants to help teammate out, but he doesn't like that inside line, so he stays up behind Richard.
Yeah. And again, don't count these other guys out just yet. Garrett.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he had it. He had it.
What was that?
That was him and Garrett kind of got into it, and then he had it saved.
Oh, I
and
didn't
then,
go back far enough. Sorry, that's why I was too far.
So Garrett kind of got behind him, tagged him a little bit. He had it. Well, I guess he didn't have it as much as I thought he did.
Well, Garrett had a straight line. I'll say that. Glenn was sort of left to right trying to save it.
Yeah, I see Glenn kind of looked
Glenn
Garrett
moved down
was
to
going to
keep-
try and push, and then
But-
Glenn dropped down in front of him, and
Yeah, Glenn dropped down to stay in the draft to Vern, right? And Garrett held his line, and then Glenn came up a bit, got into him, and then just got squirrely. Yeah, it's like, yeah, if you see, Garrett really never moves. And I think Glenn's just focused on trying to stay behind Vern. Probably thought he had a little more space. Just, come down to the end, it's hard racing. Usually the guy in the back is usually at fault, but I don't know if I'd call it that on this one. Unfortunate part is it completely destroyed Glenn's truck.
yeah. Yep. You're not entertained.
Well, apparently, not only the truck, but Ricky's radios took some damage from that impact, apparently. Might have knocked his radio out of the radio box or something, because that's...
All right, so we're gonna have one more lap to go around. We got 10 laps to go.
And they're coming into the pits. Tires and fuel. Somebody's got to stay out. Somebody's going to take a shot. I got to think. Well, who's the man who said he had a plan?
Did he do it?
He stayed out.
It's one of three.
There were a couple, yeah.
You got Tommy Haynes, Elsie Daly, and Mike McKelly. So this should make the restart interesting. These guys have 15 on 1 and 2, and Mike's got 19 on their tires.
Looks like Vern was the first one out of the pits. Vern and then
Yep. Vern and then Richard.
And they're on fresh tires. So
Yep.
we're gonna a really good idea here of what fresh tires are gonna do with the.
And I think it's going to be harder for Richard because he's going to be on the inside. He's going to have 2 older tire trucks in front of him. So where Vern's only going to have 1.
Yeah.
So depending on how that goes,
However,
Vern could
Richard
end up
might
being
just
boxed
drop low.
in.
Yeah, Richard has the open space to go low, but if he's by himself, don't know if that's going to help. I think we're getting the winter green here. Let's see the base car. Yeah, lights are out, so get me doing green. So yeah, multiple strategies are going to be seen here. I think those guys.
Well, that's how it's going to work, so I'm going to sign it. No, I know. But I feel if any of the duration is I'm not going to sign it.
Aiden, I believe, is in with Richard in his room. Yes, he is. So, if they decide to work together, they can drop low, and I think the 2 of them might be able to push through on the bottom and get something happening there. And so is Garrett, who is behind Aiden. So you have basically three team trucks, if you will, for this week, starting on the inside row behind Michael. So that we might see that here. We are going green, I believe.
Green, green, green. Tommy actually getting a pretty decent jump. Mike McCulley kind of blocking up that inside line there, it looks like. Richard Holland going to dump down to the inside, make a third line. We're going to go 3 wide on this corner. And like we talked about, Vern is getting boxed in up on top. Vern kind of tagging the wall a little bit. Mike McCulley holding that inside line pretty decent. Tom Haynes going to drop down to the front, and Mike and Nick, no, that's Elsie. Mike and Elsie.
A little hip check there, a little rub. Rich has got a good run on the inside.
And we got some trucks bobbling back there. I'm not sure if that was anything or not, but we're going to go 3 wide into the next corner again. Tommy Haynes, Elsie Daly working together.
Still holding good for older tires.
Vern cutting to the inside. Tommy going down to try and hold Vern back, I believe. We'll try and use his push to his advantage. Elsie going to bounce the wall a little bit. Six laps to go.
Oh,
we're going to have another caution.
yep. Well, started with the 22, just smacking the wall pretty hard. Yeah. No, Randy did, and then Garrett had to come up, and then Michael got behind him and just didn't catch him square. Technically, Michael turned Garrett, but Garrett was reacting to Randy.
There's multiple things going on here.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm trying to look what Richard's talking about with LZ. I'll go back into him real quick. But
Well, him
Yeah,
and
that was
LZ
the
kind
whole-
of tagged each other, but I'm not sure. You know, I don't know, again, if this is one of those where the aerodynamics may have played a factor in this, because it looks like,
Oh, I see what he's talking. Okay, so LZ just had left turn into. He just had wheel in it, trying to come off a 3. He's got older tires, and when he got onto the straightaway, he still had some left in the wheel, so he came down a little bit into Richard. I think Richard was. That's why Richard asked him to come off the wall, because he came
Yeah.
down and got into Richard a little bit.
yep.
I think that's what
So-
Richard's talking about. LZ just had wheel in it because his tires are wore out. But I
So
think that's what that
22
was.
tagged the wall, which caused Garrett to check up, which is what caused Michael to run into the back of Garrett.
Yeah. Garrett came out from behind him on left. Michael moved more left to avoid Garrett, who was avoiding the 22. And yeah, again, another racing thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's, everybody's, because at this point you're avoiding it. You're avoiding the caution that didn't happen, or the impact. So you're just trying to move out, keep going on. And you got guys coming up behind you. So it's just, that's one of those two. Yeah, Michael turned Garrett, but it was, everybody was avoiding it. You know what I mean? Everybody's trying to get out of the way. So it's, again, one of those where I would say there's maybe more of a no fault necessarily.
All right, so we got 4 laps left.
I tell you who's probably appreciating this a lot is Tommy. This is going to let his tires cool down. This is going to cycle everybody else's. So now everybody's got heat cycles tires, might bring him a little closer. He's going to have his tires are going to be a little cooler, so he can press a little bit harder against Vern's newer tires. The interesting will be Vern and Richard have new tires on the outside. Tommy and Elsie have the older tires on the inside. But Tommy and Elsie are in the same room, so they will probably be able to coordinate the restart like Vern and Glenn did. So be interesting to see how this plays out. I don't know if it'll be green, white checkers. They might get it in before green, white. Let's see.
Yeah, so
Oh, we're still on pace car. We still have at least one more lap.
this is with 3 laps to go. Next one will be 2 laps to go. Gonna go green.
It might just go green
lap
and not
to
green,
go.
white checkers for this first green flag, right? Because it's going to be
Well,
no, because they'll be starting lap
2
70.
laps. It'll be 2 laps with when the pace car drops down.
Yeah, well, pace car is going to go lights out on lap 69, so it's going to go green on 70. So it's that should kick it to a green, white checkered, I believe, because 70 is technically the end of the race when they take the green.
Yep.
Right?
Well,
Am I mathing?
they're on lap 67 right now.
Oh, I show them on lap
They're doing lap
68.
68 right now. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all right. So they're going to be on lap 69 when the pace car, when the lights go out. Yeah, so it did. It
3
kicked it
laps
to
to go.
green, white, checkered. So we are in a green, white, checkered scenario. So that's going to be interesting. You got old tires on the inside, new tires on the outside. Newer tires on the outside. And Tommy has control of the restart, so.
All right, they're going to come out of this corner. Pace car will drop down, and we will get back to green. And we'll finish up this race.
Oh, I just know it. I say it. I see somebody up towards the front, but I don't want to say anybody's name. I don't want to say anything right now. I don't wanna
Pace
lose
car
anything.
is down. Green, green, green. Teammates pushing on the inside. LZ pushing pretty hard. Looks like Tommy's going to get up in front and block that outside line.
Got a couple of truck length gap, but
So LZ's slowing down that inside line. People are jumping up there, going to try and move around. LZ's going to fall back to, looks like 5th place now.
yeah, Tommy can run the line Vern's on. That will make it harder for Vern to get up with the arrow to contest him for this last lap, because they're going to be coming to the white flag here. And Tommy's holding pretty good pace on his own. Like I said, I think those caution flags let his tires go down a bit, let him be a little more racy. Get through this corner.
Vern getting in the back of him a little bit there. Richard's going to dive down to the inside. Vern's going to try and squeeze a 3rd spot, but it looks like he's going to go behind Richard. Tommy Hane's going to try and keep everybody else back so he can at least maintain 3rd.
Yeah, Tommy got really tight on that corner.
He's kind of swinging back and
turned.
forth.
It's not going to
We
matter.
got somebody
It's white
turned,
flag.
but it's not going to matter. So
I think that was LZ.
it does look like LZ is the one that stopped back there. Looks like 51 of Paul Patterson is also slow. So
Oh,
Tommy
just
getting
got
turned by 54.
Oh! Put some air. Oh. Nobody's not going to the body shop this week. That was rough.
Let's rewind that.
Congrats, Richard. Ended up pulling the win. Vern 2nd, Aiden Young 3rd.
Okay, go play fart chase. All right.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Tommy. Somehow he got turned.
54 spun him out. 54. Let's see, that's Brent Seegers.
Chase. Yeah, Brent just kind of came down a little. Came down for some reason. Just caught Tommy right rear.
Looked like Tommy just threw it in reverse and just kept going.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
that's. It looks like he did lose about 3 or 4 spots, but yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Just threw it in a reverse. So try to keep going.
Well,
So the gentleman I noticed who all of a sudden showed up in that group was the number 34 car, but I did not want to say anything until it was over. So TJ was able to pull a 6th place out of that, so that's a good finish for him.
All right, so
That's a good thing we pulled up Chuck when we did.
there.
Not that I'm putting that on you at all or anything. I'm just
Uh-huh.
making notes. But
Uh-huh.
that was a good call, though. Not foreshadowing or anything.
All right, there's Aiden. All right, first man in the booth here, Aiden Young, coming in third tonight. Started on the pole, ended up third. But why don't you kind of take us through tonight and tell us how it went for you?
Woo! Roller coaster of a night.
I think that says it right there.
I mean, you were kind of in the thick of it quite a few times there, so definitely made it interesting for you. Definitely made it a challenge, I'm sure.
I think that's the most nervous race I've ever been at that I've had to come back.
There we go.
Go from wrecking the truck 1 minute to here we are.
Yeah, it was a good finish, man. Moved you up 3 spots in the points, up to 11th. So you got a decent jump on that. You got a couple spots with that finish.
For sure, that's hopefully we can get up there higher.
So you had, let's see. I think you and Vern were lined up there on one of those restarts. Did you guys, or no, you were with Richard. You and Richard were lined up on one of those restarts. You guys making a plan for the restart to try and take off and go and take 1 and 2, or work together, or just you guys going and doing a thing?
Not really. It was just, I guess I timed it really good, but it didn't work.
Well, I mean, you can't be too upset. I mean, you got third with 7 cautions. Not a bad spot.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. Just after that wreck, it was pretty much just claw your way back somehow.
Well, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
I gotta thank you guys for broadcasting, obviously, and obviously my buddy Ryan that's normally out there somewhere. Imagine he'll watch it at some point this week, and just everyone and Richard and all them for hanging out.
All right. Well, congratulations on P3, and we will see you next week, sir.
Yeah, nice
For
run.
sure.
What was that?
No, I told him nice run, man.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, I was a little muted and I was trying to pull up a couple different stats, and multitasking is hard.
All right. So that's going to put us with this man right here, Mr. Vern Bradley. You got a copy?
I sure do.
Well, sir, why don't you kind of take us through this race for you?
I'll tell you, it definitely was hard to pass once you got, going under green. But any position you wanted to get, pit strategy and race starts is how you got it.
And you started, let's see, where did you start? You started
6th
place, went up, and finished 2nd. Battling with teammates, battling with teammates, battling against teammates. Looked like you and Glenn were trying to run together there for a little bit. Then Glenn started going to the inside, and We noticed that you like to run the top side, and you didn't quite follow him down, and then he started falling back, and then he got involved in that incident and kind of took him out for the night. But ended up better off for you and up here in second, so you stayed clear of those incidents. And once you got up there, you pretty much stayed clear of that stuff. So overall, pretty decent race for you tonight. I don't know, was there any times in there that you thought that was like, well, we just messed that up and we're not going to get back up there? Or what was your thoughts?
Yeah, we were getting towards the end there, and a lot of guys went in and topped off on fuel, and me and Glenn didn't do it, and we were a little bit short on fuel at that point. So that was a moment in the race I thought I messed up, right? But then all the cautions kind of took care of that on their own. Later in the race, though, I think the best move I made is when I went behind Richard and them on pit road the last time I took tires. And when I was taking tires, I hit the space bar, took two, and left out first.
Yes.
Oh, that's the one we saw. Yeah, when you came out in front of Richard. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and I really think that helped because it wasn't just Richard I come out in front of; it was a couple of people. So I think that helped me get me up there. Holland got a great run down underneath of me on the corner there, and I believe I could have ran with him with the two, but there wasn't nothing I could do once he got down there and got that run.
Yeah, it was a good finish though. 0 incidents. Moved you up 4 spots in the standings. That moved you up to 12 too. So it gets you a little farther and a little more security into the points race. So that was
Yeah,
also a benefit.
it would have been 3 seconds in a row had I not wrecked going on pit road last week on the final stop, but I'm getting tired of finishing second. That's what I'm gonna get to. So I know it's coming pretty soon, and I'm just gonna work hard to get it.
Yeah, you keep putting the seconds together, right? It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. Right?
It is that you if you second enough, you're gonna get lucky and get one.
Yeah. No, that was a good run. You were solid. There was obviously a bunch of back and forth. That's just kind of with kind of a drafting track like this. But yeah, you were up in the top all day long. So, like you said, you stay consistent like that. It's going to hit. It's going to hit eventually.
Yeah, you'll luck up and get one. Good week for me at Pocono. I had a good run last night and Xfinity car top 5 in that, and then to come back and get another top 5, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it was a good week. Good job, man. It was good running on both nights.
But my teammates worked good with me tonight. Michael McCauley, can't thank him enough, and Glenn Jamison. I had a lot of fun working with those two on the restarts, and that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, he kept teasing us with these hints of a strategy he couldn't share when he was staying out and stuff. We brought him in the booth at one point, so we were always curious what that was and if the cautions obviously screwed that, and then he got involved in the wreck. But
It
yeah,
worked for a while.
he said he had a plan.
It worked for a while, and then I actually had Macaulay move me down to Tommy Haynes on the last restart, and I was able to work with those guys, and I think that's kind of what helped me stay up there.
Yeah, we were curious on that last restart. It was fresher tires on the top with you guys and Tommy and LZ. I think it was on the bottom, right on the older ones. So I was curious if you guys, and that's when you guys got together and tried to kind of formulate something for that restart.
Yeah, we did on that restart, and Elsie got a hell of a restart. He just didn't have anywhere to go behind Tommy, but he actually got a hell of a restart. So that's 2 teams that work with me tonight that I got to thank.
Yeah, they did. Like you said, I thought they were going to be able to push in front of you guys, the two of them. They were locked up from the get go on that start.
Yeah, Tommy's a friend of mine, so it's really good to be able to reach out and have friends like that on those late restarts to have somebody that has your back because anytime you're drafting down those straightaways, if you don't have any help, you're done.
And we saw that
Yeah, and
several times where guys would go to the inside and they'd lose 2-3 spots before they could find a hole to go back up in line with.
Yeah, that draft was so big on the straightaway that if you did try it, if you got a better run through a corner and you went to the bottom, you were going to lose 2 spots.
Yeah, and Tommy also did a really good job. I was watching him of really covering the the grooves on the corners, covering the lines that everybody seemed to want. A really good job of sort of protecting, which I think helped them a lot. Coming off the corners there, just grabbing everybody's hair on those lines.
I'll tell you, those guys did make it a ton of fun, even racing with Holland, most of the race, being up there with them and racing with them. Just a ton of fun. My hat's off to him. Congratulations, Richard. You earned that one, buddy.
Well, you kind of did some thanking, but is there anybody else you'd like to thank for tonight?
Well, everyone at WFO, all the drivers, all the fans that watch the broadcast, Brazy, you guys for putting on the broadcast here. John Sanu, welcome back, buddy, even though it's in the booth. Love having you over here, man.
Yeah, I wish I could be at home so I could race, but if not, I can at least fire the computer out here on the road and at least contribute somehow. This is my first league I was ever in. This is where I learned how to drive. So, yeah, so I'm glad I can come in and make some kind of contribution, be part of the group.
Well, it's awesome to hear you in the booth, and I know Brazy appreciates the help, and all of us appreciate the heck of it at
Absolutely.
WFO. We don't take anything for granted when it comes to that.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, sir, with that, we'll let you go for the evening. So congratulations on P2, and we'll talk to you again next time. All right. So, for some reason, this guy doesn't want to be up here, apparently. That's too bad. We're going to move him up here anyways because he needs to be
we
up
know
here.
where he is.
We know where he is. We found him. He's up here.
We have a certain set of skills. We'll find you.
So, sorry, I was yeah, we were talking down there, but yeah, just going over some things that happened in that race. But yeah, that was crazy. It was a wild
Good
one.
run, man. Oh, by the way, when you were asking if he had hit the wall, I was watching him. He just had wheel in it coming out of the corner, and he just didn't get out of the wheel when he came down to hit you. I think that's what you were asking about after the race. I think he just had wheel in it coming out of the corner.
Oh, LZ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So maybe he just got loose a little bit or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it looks
I didn't
like
know
he
what happened.
still,
I
he
gotta
had
watch
a
it.
little extra wheel in it coming out when I got in and looked at him, and he didn't get out of it early enough. So when you were on the straights, he was still kind of turning a little bit. And it just
Well, I
had
think
got out of it
even
quick enough,
I think even before that, I think who was behind him? 22 Randy. I think Randy was kind of behind him and upset his air a little bit. We saw it a couple times where like even I think even the incident with Glenn, I think or not Glenn, who was that? Where they got into each other because they were kind of three wide and the
that was a three-way with Bert, LZ, and the 16, 17, 16.
16, I think. So it was three wide, and it
was
just
sort of coming up. Bert was high, and LZ was in the middle, and it just had a weird disturbance.
Yeah,
like
it sucked him into Bert and bounced him down, and just kind of. So there's definitely some weird arrows going on with some of these trucks tonight. So definitely,
Well, that's how this thing is, though. It's like you get out on the track, even here, and you're by yourself in practice. You're like, this thing feels pretty good. And like, I think this is going to be a good run tonight. And then the race starts. And it's like, what the hell happened to this setup, boys? Like this thing is junk. Like it don't turn. It doesn't. It's loose. It's it was everything it wasn't in practice. It was during the race. It's just it just felt like a totally different truck, and that's part of this aero package that they've done, and they've done it to the O'Reilly car too. The Xfinity car last night was the same way. You drive up. Yeah, I could drive up to that pack that was in front of me, those 5-6 cars, but you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't drive. You couldn't pass them because you go to the bottom, the car in front of you would block the air, and you couldn't get up in the throttle, and you'd have to let off, and it was crazy. And this thing was pretty much the same way, if not worse, because then the guy would take the air off the back spoiler if he was behind you or on the outside of you or whatever, and it was just really hard to drive in traffic.
You seem to have mastered it pretty well. 4 wins, 5 top 5s, and 6 races, driver. You've got a bit of a handle on it.
A few of them were pretty lucky, like this one tonight. We happened to be in the right place at the right time, and we were all obviously green, white checker, and I think Vern and Tommy may have overdrove turn 1 there a little bit, and I was fortunate enough to get around Vern and clear Tommy there, and that was obviously key. But if that hadn't happened, I probably would not have won that race, because you just couldn't make the moves and drive around someone like that unless somebody made a mistake. So
Yeah,
I got
I
pretty
thought for
fortunate there.
I thought Tommy, even on the older tires, he was really doing a really good job of disturbing the air in the corners, controlling the line. I
Yeah.
thought he was going to be able to hold out on that. He had got a
And
pretty decent lead, and he was good center off on the corners. Like I said, he was really good. And like you said,
yeah.
with the aero tight you have in these trucks
Well,
now, I thought he was going to be able to pull it out.
yeah, well, yeah, I thought so too, honestly. Like I said, you maneuver around, you mess up the air to the guy behind you, and he just can't do anything, and you have that advantage of clean air, which is huge. So, he really had the spot to be in, obviously, but he just I haven't
Yeah,
really
that one
gone back and
corner.
watched it, but they overdrove turn 1, I think, and that's
Yeah.
where I was able to clear him, and that was
Yeah,
huge.
there you had momentum on him. It was kind of over then, because that's it. Air was key, right? You had to be in the front.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. When I was out front, the thing handled so much better. I didn't have to drive it as hard, and it just handled so much better.
Yeah, it was a good run, man. Again, that's 4 wins, 5 top 5s. It just gained, a little bit on Garrett. Garrett had some issues, so now you're up 16 points.
Yeah, I was just
No.
gonna say, Garrett,
Yeah.
with Garrett's thing there, gave you a little breathing room in the points, so definitely
Yeah, that's
a help there. So
him and I are
Especially
kind of
coming up
going
with
back and
Talladega.
forth. Yeah, just in time, because I'll give all those points back, I'm sure. But I don't know. Maybe we can bring some of our Daytona magic to Talladega. So we did win Daytona this year. That was pretty surprising. So
Yeah.
yeah, we run good at those restrictor plates. It's just the finishes don't come. It just you end up getting caught up in something eventually. But I'm
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part of those super speedways, because they are fun and they're fun to race. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you are pretty good at running it, using the air and drafting well, because it's all attrition for most
Yeah.
part. Anywhere you
Yep.
go, any leagues, the officials, it's all, do you survive the right wrecks? Are you able to get
Yep.
around them and be there at the end for it's basically a trophy dash. Typically, you only got a couple
Yeah.
laps and make it go through. Although we've had some caution-free ones here as well.
We
So,
have.
but
That's right.
unfortunately, the majority of them are wrecks. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects the points next week. So yeah,
One of those caution-free races, I think it was Talladega. I can't remember. Something happened. I was towards the back of the pack, and something funky happened, and a bunch of us had to check up, and there was no caution, and I lost the draft, and that race went green. So that's all I really need to
remember
do.
that. I think
I'll
somebody
just lose the draft.
They spun out,
Yeah.
but they went to the inside or infield or something, so they
Yeah.
didn't flag it. And
Yeah. So, but we'll see. Talladega is it's a big racetrack. It is fun. But yeah, tonight, man, there was a lot of aggressive driving, and it handled great by itself. It didn't handle great in traffic, and it was hard to drive around other trucks and all those cautions. You know how it is. Cautions breed cautions. People get aggressive, and the other thing was it was so hard to pass. So when you had those restarts, people were trying to get everything they could get on those restarts because they had to get them right now. It was one of those deals. Once you single filed out and whatnot, those passes weren't coming. You guys probably
Yeah.
saw that on the broadcast.
Oh yeah, and it was fun when you guys. So there was a group of 6, 8 of you pretty much in the front. That when you would get a little wide, 2 wide, 3 wide, you would see some movement back and forth in positions, but it wasn't much. You might get a run past 1 or 2, and then they get a run with someone, and then they're back. So yeah, it was very interesting when it was grouped. But yeah, in line, yeah, you couldn't really go anywhere unless you had help. It's basically it's
Yeah.
like a drafting track, right? It's short track
Yeah.
drafting.
Well, and the thing is the draft was huge. You get a run on the guy in front of you, no problem. But do you want to take it? Because you dive to the inside, if you don't clear him in that first corner, you might lose 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 spots because they're going by you on the outside.
Yeah, I think we
And
caught
so,
quite a few of those going on tonight. Guys would get low, get a little bit of run, and then all of a sudden it just died. It
yeah,
just,
there
yeah.
was that one time I think I made the move on Chuck there on that first run. I just felt like I was in a position there at that point in time where I had saved a little more than him, maybe, or I was hoping. I didn't know. I felt like I had saved, and I just wanted to take a shot at him and take a shot at the lead and see what happened. And so I took that shot, but I drove it down into turn one so deep that I had no choice but to either clear him or probably wreck the pair of us. But luckily, I don't know if he let me go or what, but I cleared him by like two car lengths by the time I got to the center of the corner. So I think he let me go.
No, it was
Well,
yeah, it was fun to watch because you were rolling the bottom really good in one, and there were a couple times there was somebody else too, I can't remember. And you'd have a pretty good run coming out, but halfway down the backstretch, it was gone if you couldn't get back up in line.
that's what I
You know.
mean. That's
So
exactly what
yeah,
I'm talking about right there. And it was like that pretty much. I mean, turn two, yeah, that one would do the same thing. If you could get to the guys outside and hit that outside just right, you could clear him. But yeah, that's where it was at. The outside line was very fast.
yeah. No, it was fun to watch. It was interesting because of that dynamic. It was. I'm sure it's frustrating as hell trying to make a pass because if you don't have enough to get up in front, then it's how much am I going to lose before I can get back in line,
Exactly.
or somebody gets back to help me. So yeah, it made it fun to watch, but yeah, I'm sure it was frustrating as hell.
Very, very frustrating. Yeah. But,
Well, sir,
but yeah, good race. Good race anyway. We were not sure how it was going to play out, going back and forth. All the strategy. There's a lot of different strategy. We ended up pitting at one time and took only fuel because I couldn't make the end of the race. Then we only ran like 3 laps, got a caution. I was like, oh, I wish I had known that was coming out because I wouldn't have pitted. But obviously it worked out. But just you didn't know how it was all going to play out, and as I talked about earlier, the thing did not handle well in traffic, and so really the worst thing you wanted to do was give up that track position. So the whole time when that caution came out and I pitted for fuel, I was debating it right up till the entrance pit road, and I was like, I said, man, I don't know. I just wanted that security, and 20 laps here is a long, long time, So I just felt like maybe there was probably going to be more cautions and more strategy to play out. So I pitted and took it, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, worked out in the end. That's what counts, right? At the end of the day, it shook out
Yep.
pretty good for you. But yeah, and it was weird too because it was an unusual high caution count. That really the downside of that is when you have a league that runs pretty clean and consistent, you sort of base your actions on that, right? So when you
Right.
have one of these high counters, like, okay, was that the last one, or is there going to
Mm,
be one more, two more? And how do you strategize your stops? You
right.
know, if we get 3 more cautions, I don't need fuel, but if we don't,
That's
I'm screwed.
Yeah, that's exactly what was going on tonight. I think that was that way through the whole field. You could probably talk to a lot of people, and they had the same thing
Yeah.
going on.
Especially when the track position is so key here. It's got to be like, all right, what do we do? I can't. I'm sure you. I don't know if you guys talk a lot about that in the room. It's like, what are we doing? Or if everybody sort of goes their own way. But there had to been uh, the gerbil. I'm sure was spinning the runner a lot with everybody. Everybody's trying to figure out how they wanted to go after that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk sometimes, and then you've got some people that are on their own strategy. But yeah, we talk, and we try to help each other out or try to decide what's the right thing to do. And everybody sometimes has their own opinions, and sometimes someone will come up with something that you're like, oh yeah, geez, that's a good idea. Let's do that, or whatever. But um, yeah, yeah, we just made a few good decisions, and weren't sure at the time they were good decisions, but they turned out to be, and we just was in the right place at the right time. Like I said, we had the good fortune of them guys. I think they overdrove turn one there and was able to clear them, and that was that. But yeah, ended up working out good. It was a good race, but there was a lot of aggressive driving. But again, I think it was the nature of this track. Like I said, those restarts, you had to get them now. Like once it single filed out, it was so hard to pass. I think that was a lot of it.
No, I agree with you. You have to be aggressive because the opportunities to pass are so few and far between. You have
Yeah,
to, if you have a shot at it, you have to go for it and press. Even though if you've your probability is a little bit less, your chance of error is a little bit more. You have to go for it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I agree.
definitely.
Just it looks from what it looked like here, the nature of that's how you had to race here.
Yep. Absolutely.
But yeah, good finish, man. It's we'll see what happens next week with the crapshoot race.
Yeah.
The Let Me Survive race. So
Yep. That's about it. Appreciate it.
should be a good one.
Is there anybody you'd like to thank before you go?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for doing this, and I tell you every week that everybody that I know appreciates it. A lot of people like to go back and watch these races, and they wouldn't be able to do it without you guys doing it, what you do. So we appreciate it, and everybody just running the league, all the drivers, my teammates, everybody that raced with us tonight. Yeah, just thanks a lot. Been a lot of fun, and hopefully we can finish this thing off really good and maybe get us another championship in this truck.
Yeah, was going to be my next question. Have you talked to everybody about making sure everybody shows up next week? Because next week, the week, you're going to want teammates.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people will probably show up. I would imagine we'll probably have one of the biggest fields we've had all season, at Talladega. But yeah, there's no doubt. It's definitely a place where you definitely rely on your teammates for sure.
Yeah, especially next week for the O'Reilly, because the O'Reilly field definitely has a lot of teams with 2, 3, 4 guys in it, where that's going to be, you really need to have some friends there for sure.
Yeah.
Not so much here. I think more in the O'Reilly, right? There's more guys that already are teamed up that are going to be,
Yeah,
you're going to
for
have to
sure.
watch,
Yep.
deal with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, congratulations on first place again tonight, and you didn't win the mystery lap this week or tonight.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
Chuck Sweeting took that from you this week. So
There you go.
And by the way, somebody mentioned, well, maybe we should interview him now because he was leading at the time, which I think might have had something to do with the fact he didn't win, but that's a whole other thing.
I interviewed him because we were on caution, and the cautions were so freaking long, and somebody else had suggested that we make sure to let him know that there was a possible issue with getting him that $5. So that's why he came up here.
That's true. Well, yeah, and you said, well, we maybe should interview him now in case we can't interview him later or something like that. So yeah, you're right. I'm not going to put that one on you.
I heard the whole thing last week there about Brazy trying to jinx me. I heard it.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that.
I heard John
week.
say, he's going to watch this and he's going to hear that,
Yeah, he was more careful choosing his words this time.
Yeah.
With his interview, Chuck.
Yep.
Alrighty,
Yeah,
sir.
good
Well,
run, man.
Congratulations on first, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you.
Have a good night.
Yep.
You too.
All right. Well, another night in the books. Pocono done for the season.
Yeah, and Richard said, it was a little more aggressive, but I actually thought that was good for the broadcast. We saw some good racing. Like he said, guys were getting stuck in the line, but on the restarts and stuff, they would have to be aggressive, which was nice. So it was a nice break from, a lot of the laps that were just sort of single follow. So we had a nice little mix.
Well, and it was definitely very much a different look of race than it was last night. So last night you had a lot of cautions in the beginning of the race, and then it smoothed out, and they went the rest of the race without. And now this night, it was cautions throughout the race. So definitely a different look, which we're getting used to seeing between the cars and the truck. Usually that's flip-flopped, where the trucks have them in the beginning and they cool down, or the season so far has been that way, where the trucks have them in the beginning and then they settle down and the rest of the race goes green, and usually it's cars that have them throughout. So definitely a change up, and but yeah, definitely made for a good race, and there's a lot of guys that did a lot of things to make it entertaining, make it an entertaining race for us tonight. So definitely good on that. So
yeah, no, next week should be interesting to see how that affects the points and how it goes. Like I said, and we've seen both swings of the pendulum when it comes to super speedways here at WFO. We've seen multiple. We've had more than one caution-free race at a super speedway, right?
Yep.
And then we've also had races that just really, were a lot of cautions, a lot of wrecks. So
Yep.
it will be interesting. There is no, it could go either way here at WFO. It'll be interesting to see. And with the two different vehicles, especially now that the aero package is more prevalent now with these cars. I'll be curious to see how they, and honestly, I missed Daytona, so I didn't get a preview of how they run. So I'm curious to see how they draft, how they push, whether you need groups. If two guys can do it, can a single guy get a decent run if he can run up the side of a row of someone? So it'll be exciting to see how this pans out.
Yeah, because
me
I mean,
personally, I'm looking forward to
definitely,
it.
it's you see them where they get close to each other and they lose traction and all that stuff. So it'd be interesting to see how much gap they have to have and if how tight they can be to each other to even do a proper draft. So
Yeah.
it's definitely going to change that up, I feel, but we will see that next week. So
Yeah. We'll be excited. But yeah, good race tonight. Hopefully it was exciting for everyone. I think it was. It was a good show. Good
I
show to
believe so.
watch.
I believe so. 71 laps, 14 led by your winner, Richard Holland. So, on that note, we're going to get the heck out of here and let you guys go have the rest of your evening if there is any left. So, if you have not already, or if you're watching this later on, please hit that like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when we go live next time, which will be next week at Talladega on Tuesday night with the cars. So, have a wonderful night on behalf of everybody here at WFO Racing, all the drivers, and John Sanu. This is Brazen Bull, and I wish you all a great evening. Much love, and later on, everybody.